Okay, we're going to see how logisim supports our concept of abstraction. I've brought up the comparator circuit that you built for part of the first laboratory. You notice I have put labels on each of these inputs and outputs. If I select this input here, we'll see the label down here. This is going to turn out to be really important for us to create this abstraction. Now here's the key. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a named circuit inside this project. And the way I do that, I'm just going to click anywhere in the open screen, and you'll notice I can give it a name down here. The default name is main, but I'm going to call it the comparator. And if I'm going to label it on the drawing, I'm going to give it something really small, like just an equal sign, and you'll see where that shows up in a minute. Now what I can do is I can create a new circuit that's going to use my comparator circuit. I do that from the project label here. I say add circuit, and I'm going to call him comparator 2, and it gives me a new blank screen. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in one of my previous comparators. I'm going to add that circuit into this new circuit. Click, drag, and add. Oops, I'm sorry. Comparator, click, drag, and add. Now, notice what I've got here. If you look very carefully, at that point, that's labeled B0. That's labeled B1, A0, and A1. And here's my output, X. Now that corresponds exactly in order to what I had on my comparator circuit. B0, B1, A0, A1, and X. And I've added that circuit in here. I'm going to add another copy of it. And now I should be able to compare 4 separate bits from each side. I'm going to add those in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the first 4 from my first circuit. And I'm just going to copy all of those at once and grab them all and drag them down. Okay. So now these circuits are going to correspond to A3, A2, A1, and A0, and B2, B3, B2, B1, and B0. So in my first circuit, I'm going to connect B0 here. And then I'm going to connect B1. Then I'm going to have to connect A0. And A1. Got them. And here's going to be my first output from there. You notice they're all 0, so it's matching right now. Now up in this comparator, because I need to leave a little more space here apparently, I'm going to grab, it says B0, but I'm going to use the next 2 inputs from B. So I'm going to connect that to B2, and B1 I'm going to connect to B3, my next one here in B3. Okay, and now I'm going to connect my A inputs up here to the last 2. And if I lay this out a bit, I can make it a little cleaner. And here's my output from here. And then, of course, the output I want all of these to be equal, and I want all of these to be equal. So I'm just going to drop in an AND gate. And there's my final output. Let's test it real quickly, see if I've done anything really stupid. Okay, that's no longer equal. Now it's equal again. That's no longer equal. Now it's equal again. And I'd have, let's see, 2 to the 8th, which is 256 tests to make sure that the whole thing is working. But I think we're in pretty good shape here. Whoops, given that we just used something before. What did I do here? Oh, I think I see what happened. We got an extra wire in there. Must have happened when I moved it. So I'm going to, oops, see if I can figure out how to delete that little wire. There he is. Okay, he's gone. We're happy now. All right, so there we go. Abstraction in logisim completely with an unrehearsed error.